Kelly Cougars, and welcome to your online library classroom. This week, we are going to continue practicing finding that just right book using the 5-finger rule. After hearing the story of Goldie Socks and the 3 librarians, you are asked to practice the 5-finger rule to share a picture of a just right book you found at home, as well as a picture of your just right place for reading. You are also given the option of typing or voice recording those answers instead of taking a picture. This was the poster that was part of that lesson. I'm going to read that poster to you, and then we're going to practice the activity together. The poster says, find a just right book with the 5-finger rule. First, pick a book and open it to any page. Right here, I have a book that has been mine since I was in grade school. The rocks that used to be in here are missing, as well as the magnifying glass, but all of the pages are still there. The title is The National Treasures Collector's Kit, Rocks. Includes 4 genuine rocks that are now missing. The second step is to start reading the page. So first step is to open to any full page. This is a full page. This page has a picture, so it is not a full page. Now I'm going to start reading this page, and I'm going to hold up one finger for every word that I do not know. Normally, I would read silently so no one could hear me, but I'm going to read out loud to you for practice. And I'm going to show you the first word is the end of a sentence on the page before. It's the word rock. I am going to skip that and start at the beginning of the first sentence, which begins with the word mud. Mud first becomes mudstone and then eventually shale. Sand becomes sandstone, and if there are rusted iron particles, called iron oxide, mixed with the sandstone becomes a rusted brown color. In New York, the famous brownstone buildings are faced with this type of rock. Sedimentary rocks are the best source of information about history of the world. They contain information about ancient rivers and oceans that no longer exist. Most of the fossils of plants and animals are found in sedimentary rocks. By carefully studying these rocks, geologists can even tell the depth and temperature of the water that existed where the rocks formed millions of years ago. The layers of sedimentary rock can be read like the pages of a book. The third group of rocks are called metamorphic rocks. This word comes from Greek words meta, meaning to change, and morph, meaning form. So metamorphic means to change form. In television and the movies today, there is a computer technique called morphing that is used to change images right before your eyes. A human face becomes an animal face, or a car turns into a tiger. Metamorphic rocks have also changed forms, but at a very slow rate. High temperatures, high pressures, and chemical activity many miles deep within the Earth's crust change sedimentary and igneous rocks. New crystals may form in the rocks, or the crystals may change form. Dull shale will develop more shiny mica crystals and become slate, like the chalkboards in our classrooms. Okay. I did not find any words on that page that were new to me. So for me, this book is too easy. I need to keep looking. It's great to read for fun, no problem, but it's not teaching me any new words. And that's very important as we are becoming strong readers. We need to be hearing and seeing new words in the books we read. like for you to do this week is to complete questions 1 through 4. You can type these out using your Seesaw tools, or you can create a video telling me the question, reading the question, and then sharing your answer. I am going to read all of the questions to you right now, and if you need to, watch this video over and over again in case you forget the directions. Activity. Pick 3 or more books or magazines from your house. Cookbooks count. So go ahead and search around your house for books that you're allowed to use or magazines or the newspaper. Answer questions 2 through 4 for each book, magazine, and newspaper. First, write the title. So I practiced with this book. I would write the title, The Natural Treasures Collector's Kit Rocks. Or I would just share it in a video like I am now. I don't actually need to write it down because I'm making a video. I picked my page. Let's see if I can find it again. I bet I can. Here it is. That was page 17, number 17. So for question 2, I've written the title and then also the page number. There's a couple steps for question 2. So I wrote 17, or would write. Since I'm making a video again, I'm just sharing it with my voice, the answer. I read the page out loud instead of silently, but you can read silently. If you'd like to read out loud to me in the video, great. I like hearing all of you read out loud. Hold up a finger for every word you don't know. How many fingers are you holding up at the end of the page? Well, we know I didn't find a word that was new to me in this book. So I would say I found 0. Or if I were writing the answers, I would type the number 0. Number 3, write unfamiliar words here. If you come across a word that you don't know, share that word the best that you can. You can spell the letters out if you're making a video, or type the answers. So as many words are on one page that you don't know, spell them out with your voice or type them out in the comments or post section for your answer to this activity. Question 4, read the page again. Could you figure out unfamiliar words or words you don't know by using something called context clues? That means the words around it that you do know. So if you read the whole page a second time, do those other words give you a clue as to what the unfamiliar word might mean? Can you take an educated guess? If you think that you can guess what the word means, the new word, write that down. Share it with your voice. If you cannot guess, let me know. And the last question, the last step to question number 4, could you read the page smoothly? When you reread that whole page, were you able to understand what was going on, even though that page was maybe just a page in the middle of a book you haven't read? Could you read through it smoothly? Once you finish your first book, repeat that process with another book. Here, I have 2 more books about rocks and crystals. I am going to open to a page in this book, just the same. So I've picked my 3 books and moving on to the second book and opening to a random page. You can see here that this book has writing in lots of different spots on the page. Volcanic Rocks, for example, has 1, 2 paragraphs and then a couple tiny paragraphs in smaller writing. You would read all of the words, this big paragraph, this little paragraph, and all of the little tiny paragraphs that match the different pictures. I'm not going to read this page out loud, but I'm going to start reading it silently. I found one word I haven't heard before. Pyroclastic. I can pronounce it, but I've never read that word before. I would write that down in the unfamiliar words section. Now, if I were going to guess what it means, I know that the word, part of the word pyro has to do with fire, and that this page is about volcanic rocks. So I think that that word has something to do with volcanic rocks. But I can look that up using a dictionary to get the exact definition. As I keep scanning to see it, reading, to see if there are other words that I don't know, I find the word agglomerates under mixed up pieces. I also have never heard that word before, so I would write that down on another line or share it in my video for question number 3. I continue reading. Right now I have 2 fingers up, 2 new words. Okay, so there were 2 words on this page that I didn't know. If you look, that is a Just Right book. So I will be able to learn new vocabulary about rocks and minerals by reading this book. This is a good fit for me to teach myself some new reading vocabulary about rocks and minerals. And even though I found 1 Just Right book, I'm still going to move on to my 3rd and make sure I get 3 tries in. I'm going to do the same thing. I open to a random page. The font, the letters are really tiny. And there are some graphs. I'm going to quickly and quietly start reading through. Of course, you can read aloud if you want in your video. And I'm going to look for new words. Okay. 1 new word, yttrium. And a second one, cerium. Those are 2 unfamiliar words. I have a feeling that those are words, I'm going to use context clues, that name specific types of crystals and minerals. Those were the only 2 new words for me on this page. 2 words make this a Just Right book. If I am looking to learn new rocks and mineral vocabulary, both of these books are going to get me there. And I can expect to find a few new words every page or so. All right, so that's your activity for this week. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me on Seesaw. I can't wait to see your videos and your posts of you practicing how to find a Just Right book. Until next time, Kelly Cougars.